This used to be one of the cheapest cuts of meat you could buy, but somehow oxtail went from butcher scraps to costing more than some steaks. Today I paid 50 bucks for 4 or 5 pounds of bone and meat. And we're going to find out if smoked oxtail is actually amazing or if the internet tricked us. Let's find out if it's worth the smoke. Hey, welcome back to Smokin' and Drinkin', where we find out what's really worth your time, your money, and your pellets. Today's victim, oxtail. Traditionally, this was an affordable comfort food ingredient, but lately the prices have just gone crazy. So we're judging it on 3 things: flavor, effort, and value. All right, so we've got, like I said, about 4 or 5 pounds, I think it's about 4.5 pounds of oxtail, which is just beef tail. I've never had it. This is going to be an experiment for me. Many people, they hear that and they kind of turn their nose up to it. Really, it's mostly bone and a little bit of meat on there, but we're going to find out what oxtail is all about. So we've got our smoker going at 225, and we're using a blend of oak, hickory, and maple pellets. And I've already put some Who's Your Sister sauce on there, kind of put it on pretty heavy. It's just been kind of sitting there for a few minutes. And we're gonna put some yellow mustard on there on each one as a binder. And then we're gonna season it with our Smokin' and Drinkin' brisket rub. You pay brisket prices, why not use brisket rub? We'll see what it's like. So I'll leave a recipe for the rub ingredients at the end of the video. But let's get going here. We'll get these seasoned up and get them on the smoker. All right. Got that already. Already got it all over me. My ungloved hand. All right, as always, mustard is just a binder. It's not going to affect the flavor. It is just something for the seasoning to stick to. You know what? I've got quite a bit of Who's Your Sister in the bottom there. I'm going to need a rack to put these on. Let me go get the rack. I'll be right back. All right. Let's put this right there. And let's get these seasoned up. You want to season them pretty heavy. Probably didn't need the mustard since we had the Worcestershire on there. Plenty of moisture for that to adhere to. So if you want to skip that step, you probably could. You can do whatever you want. It's your smoke. That's the beauty of backyard smoking. It's your kitchen. You do what you want. All right, we've got those seasoned up real well. We're gonna let those sit and just kind of marinate for about 20 minutes. Just let that all marinate into the meat as well as we can, and then we're gonna get it on the smoker. We're kind of waiting on the smoker to get up to 225, so we'll be back in just a second. All right, these have been marinating for about 20 minutes. We've got our smoker up to 225 with our combination pellets. We're going to let this go. It'll probably take about 2.5 to 3 hours. We're going by internal temp, not by time. So we want to, like I said, we want to get these up to about 165 degrees internal temperature. So let's get them on there and get them smoking. to talk a little bit about my pellets and pellet storage. I used to use 5-gallon buckets from Home Depot to store my pellets, but of course you need to keep these dry, and the Home Depot buckets just didn't seal. They did have a rubber seal around the lid, but just didn't seal off well enough. So I went with these Husky totes. They've got locking lids on them and good rubber seal in them. They seal off real well. So I've started using those. I haven't made labels for my buckets yet, but as you can see, we're using the oak, hickory, and maple blend. But I got these. You can get these on Amazon, but they're like 80 bucks. I got these at Home Depot for 20. So if you want to get these, go to Home Depot and pick some up. They're really nice. One tote is 5 gallons, and it holds a 20-pound bag just perfectly. It actually holds about 25 pounds. If you want to use that, go check that out at Home Depot. I'm not a Home Depot affiliate. I am an Amazon affiliate. And you can get these at Amazon. Like I said, I can put a link down there if you want to pay 80 bucks. I wouldn't do it. Pay 20 for the same thing. All right. I just checked the Oxtail, and they are about 158. So we've got a little ways to go yet. The smaller ones are up to 165. So we're gonna make a braise, and then we're going to get those in here. We'll probably get them at about 160 because I don't want those little ones to get too dried out. But we're going to make a braise, and then we'll get them in here, and then we'll get them back on until we get the temp up to internal temp to about 205. So what we need here, we're going to need some measuring cups here. All right, we need 2 cups of beef broth. We're just going to put it right in this disposable aluminum pan. One. 2 cups. Half a cup of red wine. I've got my Cabernet Sauvignon that I made, looks like 3 years ago. We had some of it already, but this will make it's a nice red wine, kind of a medium Cabernet Sauvignon. Half a cup of our red wine. I'll leave a link to the video where I made this up above. Okay, and then we need 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. 1 sliced onion. This was a yellow onion. This is going to make a nice braise. And then at the end, we're going to strain off the braise, and we're going to simmer it down until it makes a nice glaze at the very end. So 4 smashed garlic cloves. I've already got those done here. And then we need 2 bay leaves. And 2 tablespoons of butter. 2 tablespoons of our Where's Your Sister sauce. Remember, we kind of marinated the oxtail with some Worcestershire as well. Did I say 2 tablespoons? Yep. All right. We'll leave that butter right in the middle. All right, and then we'll check those in just a minute, make sure they're up to at least 250. We'll get them in here, and then we'll get them covered and back on for probably another couple hours. It's been about 2 hours and 20 minutes so far. So could take a little while longer, but we'll be right back. All right, it's been another 25 minutes, so that's a total of about 2.5 hours. And I checked them again, and they're about 258, 260, somewhere around there. So we're gonna get them off and get them in the braise, get them covered, and get them back on, so, and let them finish. So let's get those off. Those are looking nice. Nice and beefy. We're really going for probe tenderness, and they're pretty tender, but they're not there yet. That's what we're gonna try and achieve when we get them back on. Yeah, some of them are still pretty tough, but that's okay. We're not done yet. So let's get them in the braise. Hopefully they all fit in here. Ooh, that one wants to run away. It's going to be a full house here. And that braise, we're going to cover them so it'll create a steam, and that'll just kind of steam into those oxtails, and they'll just absorb all of that wonderful braising liquid. It smells terrific. That red wine really gives it a nice fruit aroma. It's going to be tight, but I think we can get them all in. It is going to be tight. I'm going to stand some of these up. Get you in the corner there. Could have used a bigger pan, I guess. This guy, go right there. Oh yeah, we'll get him in. No problem. There we go. Nice. Then we'll just get them covered. Let that start to simmer and steam those. Oh boy. I'm excited about these. Like I said, I've never had oxtail, but it's beef, just like anything else. So I don't know why we're always so afraid of trying the non-traditional parts of the beef. So, all right, let's get that back on. And we're going to step the temperature back up to about 275. Get that up a little higher, make sure, yep, still plenty of pellets. So we're going to let that go probably another 2 hours, possibly 3. We'll check it around 2 hours. We'll do a probe test, see how tender it is. Again, we're shooting for a temperature of about an internal temp of about 205, but mostly we're looking for tenderness. So we'll check back. All right, I just checked the oxtail again with the Taylor temp probe, and very tender, and also at 205 degrees. So we're going to get that off and get to the next step. Oh, smells good already. Haven't even uncovered it. Oh boy, look at that. That looks nice. Those look good. They smell good. That braise, oh boy, that braise smells delicious. So what we're going to do now, we're going to strain the oxtail off of the braising liquid, and we're going to simmer that and reduce it down to a glaze. Right now it's a braise. We're going to simmer it down to a glaze, put those back on, and put them on for another 15 minutes and let that tack up. So we're going to get this strained off into the pot, and we'll get these covered back up so they won't get cold while we're simmering the glaze. So be back in just a second. All right, basically what I did was took a ladle and just ladled out the braising liquid. So we just have that braise. It smells so good. It's got kind of it's definitely a tomato flavor and aroma, and it's got a little bit of a fruity aroma to it. Oh wow, I can't wait. This is gonna be good, good, good. So what I'll do, I'm gonna get this covered up. I'm just gonna pop it back on the smoker, and we're gonna turn the, we'll just get it on the smoker. It won't take long, maybe 10 minutes to 15 minutes to reduce this down, and then we'll get back out and we'll just get them out on the rack. We'll glaze them, and about 15 minutes we'll be ready to try them. So we'll get them back on here just to keep them warm. While we have that glaze simmering and reducing down, I have Mrs. Smokin keeping an eye on it for me. We're doing it inside. Thought I'd make a cocktail. I'm getting kind of thirsty. I've been out here all day. So we're going to make a smoked maple bourbon old-fashioned. So we're using Knob Creek smoked maple. Normally you could make this, the recipe generally calls for bourbon, maple syrup, and then you can smoke the glass. But we've got smoked maple Knob Creek bourbon, so we're kind of killing two birds with one stone here. Our smoked maple bourbon, we want 2 ounces of our smoked maple bourbon. Oops. There we go. Simple recipe. And a few dashes of our Angostura bitters. First one was kind of short. Stir that up a little bit. And garnish it with a cocktail cherry. I'm going to go 2. I like to put a little bit of that syrup in there too for some color. All right, smells delicious. You can smell that maple on there. This maple bourbon, you can tell I like it. It's almost gone. It makes a great old fashioned. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a little taste while we're waiting. Oh yeah. I tell you, Knob Creek is such a smooth bourbon. Oh, and I don't know how they do it. Probably use smoked bourbon barrels, but it even has a little bit of a smoky flavor to it. But definitely forward on the maple. Oh boy, that's delicious. That is going to go great with our oxtail. So let's get back to the simmering down the glaze, and we'll be right back. All right, we've got our glaze, our braise, reduced down to a glaze. Probably could have maybe got it a little thicker, but I can't wait. So let's get the cover off of these, and we're gonna go ahead and just braise the whole batch. Let it go another 15 minutes uncovered, and then we'll be ready to try it. Okay. This is gonna be good, I think. I don't know, we'll see. That's the whole point, is decide if it's worth it. Is it worth $50 in about 6-7 hours of smoking? We'll see. Make sure they're all covered real good. Okay. All right, it's been another 15 minutes. Let's get the oxtail off and see how they rate. Those look nice. Nice and tender. Yeah. Oh boy, I can't wait. Let's get those on the platter here and have a good look. Don't those look good? Look like tiny little ribs or something. All right, I've waited long enough. We're gonna just dig right in here. Take one, let's take it off of here. Why not? Oh, look at that. Got a little bit of a smoke ring on it, especially that piece. Looks a little like pork. Oh, it's tender and it's juicy. It's got a nice little bark on it. And it's got a nice beefy aroma to it. Well, here we go. Let's take a taste. Okay. Wow. I am surprised. I was always worried. I didn't know what oxtail was going to be like. It's one of those things, you know, kind of like liver or beef tongue or something like that. You're always a little scared, but that's really good. It tastes a lot like beef ribs. All right, well, let's see how that goes with our smoked maple old fashioned. Oh yeah, that maple pairs nicely with that. All right, let's rate it. Let's see how we did. Is it worth the smoke? We're going to rate it on flavor, effort, and value. On the flavor, it's got a good flavor. Like I said, it tastes a lot like beef ribs, and it's juicy and tender. I don't know. I'd give it 5 stars on the flavor rating. On the effort, it wasn't difficult, but it is basically like like cooking a brisket. The same effort as a brisket, but it wasn't too bad. I give it maybe a 3 stars on effort, and then value. This is the controversy. Is it worth the $50 that we paid for it? For me, yeah, I think so. I'm not going to give up on brisket or chuck roast, but if we're buying a half a beef or a whole beef, we'll take the oxtail. Yeah, I think it's worth the value. It's good. Final verdict. Is it worth the smoke? I think it is. I think it's worth it. It's not something that you're going to do every day. You don't do a brisket every day, or at least I don't. But I think it's worth the smoke. So, smoked oxtail. Who knew? All right. You know what? I'm going to take one more taste here. Yeah, haven't changed my mind. That's really good. Well, that about does it for the smoked oxtail. Is it worth the smoke episode? And I want to thank you all for joining in here at Smokin and Drinkin. And if you like this video, hit the like button and go ahead and subscribe. Just click that little button down there. It doesn't cost you anything. It's easy to do. Helps me out a lot. It helps me with that little thing called the YouTube algorithm, whatever that is. And if you want to be notified of our future videos, every Sunday morning we release a video, hit that notification bell and it'll notify you. So, as always, Prost! Mm.